The best handgun in the world is useless if it stays locked at home when danger finds you somewhere else. That is the whole reason pocket pistols exist. They are small enough for dress pants, gym shorts, a winter coat, or a quick walk to the car, yet serious enough to earn a place in a daily carry plan. But the smallest gun is not always the smartest choice. Weight, recoil, sights, capacity, trigger feel, and safe carry all matter. So we are counting down 4 pocket pistols that earned real trust. And by the end, one model stands out as the most complete choice for most people. Number 4. SIG Sauer P238. The SIG Sauer P238 takes the 4th spot because it follows a very different path from the other pistols on this list. Most modern pocket guns use polymer frames, striker-fired actions, and simple controls. The P238 reaches back to one of the most respected handgun designs ever made. It is often described as a tiny version of the 1911 scaled down for the .380 ACP cartridge. These guns were never meant to win matches or ring steel at 100 yards. Their job is to vanish until needed. The rough goal is a footprint close to a large smartphone with enough width and height kept out of sight under normal clothing. That sounds simple, but shrinking a pistol without ruining reliability, sights, or control is one of the hardest jobs in handgun design. That old school design changes the whole feel of the gun. The frame and slide are metal instead of polymer, so the P238 feels dense and solid even though it is small. It uses a single action system with an exposed hammer and a thumb safety. It is commonly carried with the hammer back and the safety engaged, much like a full-size 1911. Shooters who already understand that system often feel at home the moment they pick it up. The P238 also carries real history in its design. The short, clean trigger break comes from the same basic single-action idea that made John Browning's 1911 famous. SIG did not simply copy the outside shape. The company kept the character of the system and shrank it into a pocket-sized pistol. That gives the P238 a shooting feel that is hard to find in this class. Its all-metal build gives it another benefit. At around 16 ounces, it is heavier than the lightest polymer pocket pistols. That extra weight helps soften the sharp recoil that small .380 pistols are known for. The gun still moves in the hand, but it does not feel as harsh as some models that weigh close to 10 ounces. For people who struggle with snappy recoil, that difference can matter more than a few extra ounces in the pocket. The trigger is one of the strongest reasons to choose it. The pull is short, crisp, and easy to understand. A cleaner trigger can help the shooter press without moving the sights at the last second. The slim grip panels and short reach to the trigger also make the P238 friendly to smaller hands. Many reviewers have praised it as one of the more accurate pistols in its size class, and the solid metal frame helps the shooter hold it with more confidence. But the P238 also shows why no pocket pistol is perfect. Its standard capacity is 6 rounds in the magazine, plus 1 in the chamber. That is far below the 10-round and 12-round options offered by newer designs. The thumb safety also adds a control that must be understood and practiced with. A person who wants the simplest possible system may not want that extra step. Price is another issue. The P238 is a premium little pistol. Its metal construction, refined trigger, and careful fit cost more than many polymer pocket guns. It is not the value choice for someone who only wants the cheapest reliable tool. Still, the P238 earns its place because it offers something the rest do not. It gives the owner a metal frame, softer recoil, a crisp single-action trigger, and the feel of a classic 1911 in a pistol small enough for deep concealment. It is best for the shooter who values comfort and control more than maximum capacity, and who is willing to learn the safety system instead of treating it like a simple point-and-press design. The P238 also shows how the pocket category has changed. A true pocket pistol is usually close to 4 inches tall, thin enough to avoid a clear outline, and near 14 ounces when possible. The P238 is slightly heavier, but its smooth shape still fits the role. Small revolvers filled this need in the 1800s, followed by slim semi-automatics. Modern materials and better manufacturing later allowed makers to shrink reliable pistols while improving sights, triggers, and capacity. The P238 stands apart by bringing an older metal frame idea into that modern market. It is not number one because its lower capacity, higher price, and manual safety make it a more specialized choice. But for the right owner, it may still be the most enjoyable pistol on this list to shoot. Number 3. Glock 42. The Glock 42 takes the third spot because it offers something many people value more than clever features: trust. It is the smallest pistol Glock makes, and it brings the company's familiar system into the .380 pocket category. The Glock 42 is a striker-fired .380 ACP pistol with a 6-round magazine, giving it a standard 6+1 capacity when carried with a round in the chamber. It measures just under 1 inch wide, stands a little over 4 inches tall, and weighs around 14 ounces empty. It is slightly larger than the smallest pistols here, but that extra size gives the hand more surface to hold. Anyone who has used a larger Glock will recognize the controls. The trigger feel, simple operation, and takedown style follow the same basic formula. There is no separate thumb safety to switch off. The pistol uses Glock's internal safety system and familiar trigger design. That can make the 42 easier to understand for people who already own another Glock. Reliability is the heart of its reputation. Glock built its name on pistols with a small number of internal parts and a design known for running through hard use. Police, military, and civilian owners around the world helped build that image over decades. The Glock 42 carries that same design thinking into a much smaller gun. A pocket pistol may spend days or weeks riding quietly in a holster. Lint, dust, sweat, and daily movement are part of that life. That is why simple, dependable function matters so much in this category. A carry pistol does not need to look exciting. It needs to work when checked, maintained, and used responsibly. The Glock 42 is also one of the softer shooting pocket .380 pistols. Its slightly larger frame and extra weight help spread recoil through more of the hand. It does not disappear as easily as the lightest models, but it can be more comfortable during practice. That matters because a pistol that hurts every time it fires may push the owner to practice less. The trade-off is capacity. 6 rounds in the magazine now looks limited beside pocket pistols holding 10 or even 12. The Glock 42 also sits a little taller and larger than guns such as the Ruger LCP Max. In tight dress pants or very light clothing, that difference may make concealment less effortless. For some people, the larger size is a weakness. For others, it is the reason the gun works. A grip that gives the hand more space can make the pistol easier to control. The key is knowing which problem matters more to you: the smallest possible package or a slightly larger gun that may be easier to shoot. The Glock 42 also shows why .380 ACP became the main pocket pistol cartridge. It carries more energy than tiny .22 and .32 rounds, yet it is easier for many people to control than 9mm in a featherweight frame. That balance matters because small guns already have short sights, small grips, and more movement under recoil. Some carriers still prefer 9mm for its extra energy, while others shoot .380 better and practice more often. Both views have merit. The sensible middle ground is that .380 works for deep concealment when its limits are respected. A stronger gun left at home is useless, but a tiny gun the owner cannot shoot well is no better. The Glock 42 works best for the person who already trusts the Glock system and wants a pocket-sized version with a softer shooting feel. It is also a strong fit for someone who values simple operation and proven design more than double-digit capacity. It sits at number 3 because newer pistols offer more rounds in nearly the same space. But if the first question is, will this feel familiar and dependable? The Glock 42 remains one of the easiest pocket pistols to trust. Number 2. Ruger LCP Max. The Ruger LCP Max takes the second spot because it may offer the strongest mix of size, weight, capacity, and price in the whole category. To understand why it matters, you have to look at the pistol that came before it. The original Ruger LCP arrived in 2008 and helped start the modern pocket pistol boom. It was small, light, reliable, and affordable. People could carry it without changing the way they dressed. It sold in huge numbers because Ruger understood a simple truth. Many owners wanted a gun they would not leave at home, but the first LCP also had clear limits. It held only 6 rounds. Its sights were tiny and hard to use. The trigger was long and heavy. Those compromises were accepted at first because the pistol was so easy to carry, but the rest of the market kept improving. The LCP Max kept the proven basic shape and fixed most of the complaints. The biggest change is capacity. It holds 10 rounds of .380 ACP in a pistol that still fits the true pocket category. For years, double-digit capacity usually meant carrying a larger gun. Ruger found a way to put 10 rounds into a frame that can still disappear in a back or front pocket with the right holster. The weight is just as impressive. The LCP Max comes in at about 10.5 ounces. That makes it one of the easiest pistols on this list to carry all day. It can work with dress pants, gym shorts, or light summer clothing where a larger handgun becomes difficult to hide. Ruger also gave it a real tritium front sight that can be seen in low light. The slide uses a smooth, snag-resistant shape that is less likely to catch on clothing. The trigger is still designed for defensive use rather than target work, but it is more predictable than the trigger on the first LCP. That package explains why so many instructors mention the LCP Max when a new carrier asks for one simple pocket pistol recommendation. It offers 10 rounds, useful sights, very low weight, and a price that does not feel like a major risk for someone who is still deciding whether pocket carry fits their life. The LCP Max also proves why the smallest gun is not always the easiest gun. Its low weight means recoil has less mass to push against. The result is a sharp, snappy feel in the hand. The grip is short, and shooters with larger hands may struggle to get enough contact on it. The gun rewards steady practice and can punish the owner who buys it, fires one magazine, and then ignores it. This is an important point for the entire list. Small pistols are harder to shoot well, not easier. They have shorter sights, smaller grips, lighter frames, and more felt recoil. The convenience of carry comes with a cost. A person who chooses a pocket pistol should expect to spend time learning how it feels, how the trigger breaks, and how the gun returns after each shot. The LCP Max is best for the person who wants the lightest and smallest practical option without giving up double-digit capacity. It is also a strong choice for people who need deep concealment in thin clothing. Think about a delivery driver working in summer heat with no jacket. Think about someone taking a morning run in gym shorts. Think about a person walking from an office to a dark parking area in dress clothes. These are the situations where a large handgun may be left behind. The LCP Max was designed for the person who wants a pistol that almost disappears. It is not number one because its sharp recoil and tiny grip make it less comfortable to practice with than the best all-around choice. But for pure carry convenience, it may be the winner of the entire list. Number 1. Smith Wesson Bodyguard 2.0. The Smith Wesson Bodyguard 2.0 takes the number 1 spot because it solves more of the old pocket pistol problems than any other model here. It keeps the small size people want, adds modern capacity, improves the sights, and gives the shooter a much better trigger. The original Bodyguard was useful, but never loved by everyone. It was small and dependable, but its hammer-fired system came with a long, heavy double-action trigger. That trigger made the pistol harder to shoot well, especially for people already dealing with a short grip and small sights. Smith & Wesson went back to the design and changed the part that held it back. The Bodyguard 2.0 uses a striker-fired system. That change creates a lighter and cleaner trigger, often described at around 5 pounds, with a short reset. The result is a pocket pistol that feels more modern and easier to control. Capacity is another major strength. The standard magazine holds 10 rounds, while an extended magazine can hold 12. That is a major jump from these 6-round pocket pistols that ruled this market for years. Smith & Wesson managed to add those rounds without turning the pistol into something too large for real pocket carry. The sights also deserve attention. The front sight is larger and easier to find than the tiny seats used on many older pocket guns. That helps the shooter line up the pistol faster and can make accurate practice less frustrating. The Bodyguard 2.0 does not remove every weakness of the category. It is still a small, light .380 pistol, so recoil can feel sharp. The short slide can also come close to the web of the hand if the shooter grips too high. That is not unusual for tiny pistols, but it is something owners need to understand during safe practice. What makes the Bodyguard 2.0 different is how many compromises it reduces at the same time. The Ruger LCP Max gives excellent capacity and very low weight, but the Bodyguard offers a more refined trigger and shooting feel. The Glock 42 offers proven simplicity, but it holds fewer rounds. The SIG P238 gives a softer metal frame and excellent trigger, but it costs more and requires comfort with a manual safety. The Bodyguard 2.0 stands in the middle of those choices. It is modern without being too large, easy to carry without becoming impossible to control, and high in capacity without feeling like a thick subcompact pistol. That balance is why it earns the top position. It is best for the person who wants one current pocket pistol that does almost everything well. It fits the owner who wants useful sights, a cleaner trigger, 10 or 12 rounds, and a frame that still disappears under light clothing. It can also fit people whose hands or bodies make larger handguns difficult to carry. A retiree dealing with arthritis may value a pistol that weighs less and places less strain on the belt. A nurse leaving a late shift may want something that stays hidden under normal clothing. A person who lives in hot weather may need a pistol that works without a heavy jacket. None of those people are looking for a competition gun or a pistol for long-distance shooting. They want a small, dependable tool that can be carried quietly and responsibly. The Bodyguard 2.0 is built around that real-world need. Choosing the pistol is only half the job. Pocket carry requires a proper holster that fully covers the trigger guard, keeps the gun in one safe position, and breaks up its outline. The pocket should hold only the holstered firearm, never keys, coins, or loose objects. Small guns can feel casual, but the holster is part of the system, not an optional extra. Training matters just as much because short grips, short sights, light frames, and snappy recoil make pocket pistols harder to shoot well. Practice should begin slowly and safely, with careful instruction for any work involving the pocket. Ammunition matters too. Modern short barrel 380 loads are built around the cartridge's limits, but owners should still confirm reliable function in their specific pistol. No clever marketing can turn the .380 into something it is not. It remains a modest cartridge designed around concealment, control, and practical carry. None of these pistols is magic. The P238 offers metal frame comfort and a crisp single-action trigger. The Glock 42 offers familiar simplicity and a strong reliability reputation. The LCP Max puts 10 rounds into one of the lightest practical packages. The Bodyguard 2.0 gives the best overall balance of capacity, sights, trigger quality, and true pocket size. The right answer still depends on the owner. Hands, clothing, recoil tolerance, and training are different. The value of a pocket pistol is not that it replaces every larger handgun. Its value is that it can stay with a responsible owner when a larger pistol might be left behind. Choose the P238 for classic metal construction, the Glock 42 for familiar simplicity, the LCP Max for minimum weight and 10-round capacity, or the Bodyguard 2.0 for the most complete modern package. Whichever one fits, use a proper holster, keep the pocket clear, follow local laws, practice safely, and respect the cartridge limits. A pocket pistol earns its place not by being the biggest or strongest gun in the room, but by being the one a responsible owner can actually carry every day.